Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia, and with me tonight we have Nick.
Heyo.
And Brandon.
Hello.
And we're going to have a regular podcast episode tonight. So
Sure are.
Someone didn't get the memo, apparently, about the community playthrough, but that's okay, because that means you have another week to get it done.
I have another week to get it started.
Yeah, so not just my compatriots here, but you listeners at home, you have another chance to play the awesome Shadows of Dan with us. And then next week we'll also do the game debate episode, Halloween themed. It makes sense to do them together because they fit well together.
That's
like
true.
Two peas in a pod. Yeah, so, and, it's October, it's awesome, it's a great month. The monster cereals are out, and pumpkin beer, so all that good stuff. But
Blueberry.
Yeah, blueberry, frankenberry,
Pumpkin everything.
Count Chocula, pumpkin everything.
I tried, as a small side, I tried some pumpkin beer. Tried a few pumpkin beers. Some of them have been alright. Some of them have been absolutely disgusting.
There are some bad ones, there are some good ones. You gotta try a whole bunch of them, I think.
I tried
to find one that you like.
One was Line and Cool Oktoberfest, or something like that. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Another one I tried was Flying Fish, and it was disgusting.
Never tried that one.
Yeah, and then there's like this
That sounds
other
like
one
a
by
terrible idea. Flying fish just sounds like
I don't
that.
drink flying, but we recently, this past weekend, me and my friends bought enough Oktoberfest to last us through the month. And personally, I don't drink Oktoberfest. I like to drink a lot of hard cider from like September to November. But yeah, no, I just thought I'd throw that in there. I don't particularly care for Oktoberfest.
Yeah, I like the for pumpkin beers. I like the Blue Moon Pumpkin Harvest. That one's one I like to go back to. I also really like Pumpkin. I don't know.
I've heard that's good, and my mom actually mentioned to me that she wanted to try that, so I have to see if I can find a case or like a 6-pack of that somewhere.
Yeah, Pumpkin's funny because it comes in like weird sizes. You either get a fucking gigantic bottle, or you can get like 4 like weird sized ones. Like it doesn't come in your like traditional case.
Okay.
But it's good. It's a little bit on like the pricier side for beer, but it's got a higher alcohol content too. So
I'll have to
trade off.
take a gander out to my local alcohol store and see if they've got it.
Yeah. It's definitely, like I said, it's a good one. I do like the Blue Moon better because it's a bit lighter, but the Pumpkin I do like a lot too. So
There you go.
All right. So anyway, on to a regular episode. Are you guys ready to get started?
Welcome to the episode where we talk about beer for like multiple hours.
Welcome to Beer Crunch.
Beer Crunch.
Don't even get me started, because I can go.
Stays crunchy with beer.
Don't even get me started.
I mean, gaming and drinking usually go hand in hand pretty well.
That's true.
So
I do a lot of drinking while gaming, so.
Yep,
I mean, I guess I do too, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, on to what we have to talk about this week. Why don't you guys just get your Destiny shenanigans out of the way?
Sure.
I wasn't really going to say
Nick,
much about Destiny. What's
Nick,
that? Yes.
Did you get your sword?
No.
Oh, go get your sword. It's fucking
I
awesome.
don't want the fucking sword.
Dude, it replaces
make
your...
any...
What do you mean it doesn't make sense?
My friend was like, okay, so I know it replaces your heavy weapon spot, but like, it doesn't make sense. Alright, you can slice 14 times with this sword, and then you go pick up a box, and now you can slice 14 more times with the sword.
Well, it's ammo because it's an energy weapon. Yeah, and on top of that, you could still pull out the sword if you don't have any ammo. You'll just be holding the hilt without the energy of it coming out. And it's really good for multiplayer because you can use it to look around corners because it automatically puts you into third person. So, like, you can just pull it out and be like, I see someone around that corner.
I've been getting killed so much by a sword. Fantastic. I haven't been playing much multiplayer. It's more so, like, doing strikes and whatnot.
Also, my friend introduced me to this thing on the new, like, in the new area that was introduced. There's, like, these 3 statues, and if you put an item into them that randomly drops from enemies in that area, then it, like, spawns a random boss, and, like, everyone in the world, like, in that area is alerted of it, and then you all have to, like, band together to fight it. It was so fucking cool.
Is it not Court of Orcs, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, no, me and my friends have been doing it. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I finished a quest last night. It was like to do the 5 heroic strikes, which hasn't been that difficult because now I actually have the proper gear for it.
What's your light level?
Like 280, I think.
Yeah, see, you're way ahead of me because I haven't played that much, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it up because I think you have to be 290 to do the King's Fall raid.
You do?
So I got to get that up. But yeah, I've been playing Destiny. I didn't really play anything else this week. I actually watched more anime this week than played games, which is weird.
Well, what anime did you watch? I mean, we can talk about other shit. I mean, come on, what did you watch?
I finished 2 very great shows. First one being Samurai Champloo.
That's a fantastic show.
Finished that. And the second one being Steins Gate.
Oh, I love Steins Gate. Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Finished both of those this week.
A lot of what's in Steins Gate is loosely based off of something that happened on 4chan in like 2002.
Excuse me?
Yeah. I don't even understand those words. That doesn't make sense.
The John Teeter guy, he showed up and was like posting on message boards, and it was either copied or it was originally posted up on 4chan about his time traveling escapades.
Well, I know that like in the show they show Okabe posting on like an image board of sorts.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's kind of hinted at, but yeah, it's definitely a thing that happened in the Channing times.
Yeah.
In the Channing Tatum region of the internet.
Two great animes, and
amazing. I love that one. Did you watch the movie?
Did not. I was told that it's not necessary to watch the movie.
It continues right from where the anime left off.
I watched the OVA, and then they were like, "Listen, if you really want to watch the movie, you can."
The movie's good. Watch it.
I might. I do like the series a lot, so I might watch it. And then, did you hear about Steins Gate? Zero?
Yes, that's going to be on Vita. Yeah.
I don't want to say what it's about. You probably know what it's about.
I actually haven't looked into it at all. I just know that it's going to exist and that it's a sequel / maybe prequel. I don't know. It's one of those to Steins Gate.
I will tell you after we record, because if anybody wants to watch the show, like literally the explanation of Steins Gate Zero is a big spoiler for the show. So,
okay.
But yeah, so basically just binging on Destiny, finishing anime, and doing random console repairs in my home.
Oh, yeah, your DS thing?
Yeah, I recently bought a blue and black DS Lite, which I'm going to have to do that same repair now to that DS Lite because I noticed that there's a crack on the hinge. Like, every good DS Lite has a crack on the hinge.
Yeah.
So I bought that one, and my friend needed the new DS because his recently broke, and he wanted the blue and black one. So I was like, all right, well, I got a spare case, the spare housing for a red and black one. I'll throw it on for you, and you can have it. And I learned the hard way that it's not just Nintendo, it's just every manufacturer except for Xbox that likes to put tiny screws and tiny springs everywhere.
Oh, God, yeah. Because that special magnetic screwdriver that allows you to, like, pull out the screws very easily, and they just stick to the screwdriver so you won't lose them.
And what pissed me off the most about putting the casing on is that it's not a Nintendo official housing. So right around where the notification lights are, there's a bit of extra plastic, so the case is actually popped open a little bit. And I'm like, why did they do this? I'm so upset. So that's pretty much been my week in a nutshell. Just random business, waiting for my Fallout anthology to come in the mail tomorrow.
I had a friend just message me and say that I should get that, and I asked him why, and he didn't ever reply back.
Well, you know what it is, right?
It's the first 3 games, right?
It's Fallout 1, 2, Tactics.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
3 Game of the Year Edition.
Wait.
Vegas Ultimate Edition.
Wait. Okay.
It's 5 games with space for 4. So, like, inside the mini nuke, there's an extra space for 4.
Okay, then. That makes a lot more sense. That's cool.
Yeah, of course. Why would they just include 1, 2, and Tactics? That would be silly.
I don't know.
So.
Because why not?
That would literally make no sense. Let's put all the non-Bethesda made Fallouts in an anthology pack.
Really?
Yeah. Really? Oh, yeah. You can probably still reserve it, like, now. It didn't really sell out. You can
actually buy it, like, right now.
Yeah, well, it comes out in,
in an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much been my week in a nutshell.
That's kind of cool, actually. Yeah.
So, yes.
Yes. Brandon, you've been playing anything else?
I have. I've actually been playing a lot, and I haven't written any of them down.
Of course.
But anyway. So, I have been playing a little game by the name of SOMA.
Oh, yeah. I figured
that.
you'd be playing that. How are you liking it?
It's really fucking weird to the point where, like, I'm kind of questioning, like, is this gonna... So, I haven't played that much. Probably, like, an hour and a half or so.
Is this gonna what?
Let me explain.
I'm on a cliffhanger now.
Yeah, the beginning is what doesn't make any sense to me. Because, like, a lot of this would be spoilers, so I don't want to say anything. But, apparently you were in some kind of accident at some point, and stuff happens to you.
Okay.
And so you go to get your brain scanned at this doctor's place, but it's, like, really shady, and you have to, like, find the fucking code, and then, like, run down a hallway and get to the end. And you finally get to this dark-ass room with this guy who seems like a normal doctor, but the chair he wants to put you in is like this huge fucking chair. And then you wake up and now you're in the game. It's fucking weird. Like, shit happens, we're not exactly sure why, and it's just, like, accepted. And, like...
So it's like the evil with it.
Not really, no. Because, like, you wake up in a completely different, like... everything.
You
and
do
I know,
remember how
I know. Let me
was,
finish.
right?
Let me finish. And it's not like the Evil Within because this is super fucking futuristic. Is what I was also going to go on to. Like
and
this
good.
is like and good. First of all, the sound design for this game is fucking phenomenal. It sounds really, really good. Like really, really, really good. I don't know how scary it's going to be. Because, like, it's just got the atmosphere, like, a really good atmosphere to it, but nothing's really scared me yet, but I'm, like, really tense around the atmosphere. I'm like, what the fuck's gonna happen?
I do have to say, like, so it's the Amnesia guys, like,
It is.
the first one.
The first Amnesia,
And the one thing that they did really good with in that game was the atmosphere. I mean, I don't think there was anything that could kill you in the first, like, 2 hours of that game.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, and, like, that's just because you know there's
it might
stuff
be
there.
the same here.
Yeah.
It might be the same here, because... But, like, I'm getting this... it's... Alright, so... Take this with a grain of salt. This is my thus far interpretation. Could be spoilers. I could be way off. But I feel like there was some kind of accident in this place, this facility, and somehow people's souls have gotten trapped inside of robots. It's really weird, and it's got, like, a lot to do with, like, humanity and, like, your own mortality. Like, the game kind of makes you, like, question that, like, even in real life, you kind of have that feeling. And it's done really, really, really fucking well. To the point where, like, even though this is a horror game, some things you do, because you just have to, you kind of feel bad about, and you're like, oh, okay then. And it was just a robot, and all I did was unplug it, but... It sounded like that was the only way it would be able to live any longer. And I just took that away from it. But at the same time, it was kind of like a parasite. So, like, I had to get rid of it, right? I did the right thing, right? But then, like, if my whole theory about people's souls being trapped inside the robots is true, then in that case, you're killing people. Quite literally taking the last bit of life they have that they're clinging to and snuffing it out. And that's really kind of deep. Like, I like it, and it's very pretty. Like, the whole game is, like, very dreary.
Oh, I thought you were talking about killing people.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's really pretty.
No, I like I was saying, that was just my guess, so I don't know if any of that's true or not. So that could be a spoiler, it could not. So there you go.
It could even be, who knows, maybe the robots are alive, and it's the whole thing about AI and...
Yeah, it could also be that, and it does kind of feel that way, because I found some, like, things where it's like, people are saying that they've abandoned the facility because they don't want to be left down here with, like, the murderous robots and everything. But at the same time, there's some stuff that I'm not going to spoil, but it makes me feel like maybe they're murderous because they're robots now. Like, they didn't start out as robots, that sort of thing. I don't know. It's really good, though, and it's pretty... It keeps you... very tense and, like, you can't really relax while playing it, so it's a good horror game. There you go. I'd say get it if you like horror games.
I do really want to play it, and I was very close to picking it up, but I'll be honest, it was the price. The price is too much.
I understand.
I don't know.
How much is it?
$30.
Ooh.
I have a friend that owed me money, so I just said buy me Soma instead. That's the only reason I got it.
Yeah,
15, I think, would be perfect. 30.
20 was my max on this
Well,
one.
here's the thing. I don't know how it's going to work on console, but there's already workshop support and like level editors and all that shit for the PC version. So like, I feel like if you're going to get it and you have a good PC, or if it's on Mac, that's the way to go, because then you'd be able to have more longevity with the game because of the added extra content with it, you know, from like other people's stuff that they make. True. So like, if you can, I would say go that direction with it.
You know, it's really interesting
there you go.
that you say that, because I was going to say I like that. Honestly, generally adds no value to a game, like the user created like mods and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, but surprisingly, the thing that I have to talk about this week actually has to do with that.
I was gonna say, like, did you see the user-created content for Amnesia? Some of it was fantastic. Some of it was better than the original game.
Oh, I'm sure it was. There's very few like mods that just like get me dragged.
Oh no, I'm not talking like mods. I'm talking like custom stories that you make yourself. Because Amnesia had that too, where you can make your own literal stories in the game and like use their assets to make your own.
Yeah, I mean that's still a mod. You're just like regenerating their assets.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, that stuff's fine. I just generally don't get into it, aside from surprisingly what I have to talk about this week.
Okay.
But
fair enough.
Anything else about Soma?
No, I'm not far enough into it to give you more information. Just I'm really digging it so far, and I hope it keeps up the whole thing. I'm sure it will. I mean, it's getting fantastic ratings across the board. Tons of people seem to like it. And I think it's fairly lengthy, like at least a 10-hour experience, if not more, depending on how you play. So there you go.
I'm hoping for a Halloween sale. Like there's usually always like something like that for like horror themed games. So
yeah, it might be a little bit too soon for it, but maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. Who knows?
So there you go. Yeah, I think it's worth it. It's got the production values. So, and apparently, I know at least that it works with, or is going to work with, I don't know how, but it was going to be VR compatible with the PC version. But I don't know if it's going to do the same with the PS4. Yeah, but I also don't see that list anymore. I know originally they said it was, so maybe it's not VR compatible anymore. I don't know.
Sometimes they go back on it, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like Alien Isolation was going to be, and for whatever reason, they just never.
That's the game. It feels like Alien Isolation. This game feels like that. If you liked that game, you will like this.
Okay.
That's the one I was trying to think of that this game has the feeling of. It feels a lot like Alien Isolation. So I also played a new Devolver Digital game by the name of Fistful of Gun. This game is fucking awesome. It is a 9-player co-op shooter. It's kind of got like a... let's see. The interesting thing is the control scheme. Again, this is a PC game. I think it might be on other systems as well, but I'm not sure how...
I think it's coming to PS4. There's a lot of Devolver Digital games coming to PS4, so I wouldn't be surprised.
They might cut out some players, because the way this works is different characters have different control schemes. And some are, you can only play this character with a controller, and some are, you can only play this character with mouse and keyboard. So that's an interesting thing, like their approach to that. And it's a vertical shooter. It, like, you know, top-down vertical shooter, that sort of thing, like twin stick. But different ones, like, sometimes they'll just, like, instead of using a twin stick, they'll use the A button instead, and the B button. Like, you just kind of use one stick, and then use the A button and B button to fire one barrel of each shotgun. So, it's, I don't know, it's so weird, but it's a lot of fun. It's Western style, as you probably would have guessed just from the title, and it's, like, you go to one screen, there's a bunch of people there, and they can kill you in one hit, but you have, like, extra lives and that sort of thing, but you only have, like, 5 continues to make it 12 miles, and every screen you go is another mile, but every screen you go also adds more, like, heavier hitters. Like, you'll get people on horseback, and you have to, like, shoot them off their horse, and then you have to shoot them. So, like, they get 2 hits instead of the 1 hit that all the others would. And it kind of has, like, a bullet hell shooter feel to it as well. Because some of the, like, bullets that they'll fire at you is, like, in, like, spray patterns that you'll have to learn and everything. It's good. I like that. I like it a lot. And
Devolver makes some quality games.
I don't think I can think of a single Devolver game that I didn't like. Like, off the top of my head.
They'll have a very, very nice charm to them.
Yeah.
And they all have, like, just an over-the-top style that I'm a really big fan of.
Yeah, Devolver Digital is probably one of my favorite developers. I mean, like, they put out Hatoyo Boyfriend also. And, like, they go off the rails with some shit. So, yeah. Good on you, Devolver Digital. I'd like to talk to those people. Wink, wink, hint, hint.
If anybody works for Devolver.
Anybody Devolver Digital, you should come hang out with us and we can talk about shit for an hour or so. Anyway, so that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I'm digging that game. It's kind of like pick up and play, you know, like, oh, I died. I'll just go play something else now. I did play a few other things. I tried to get like a vast amount of gaming in this week, and I picked up a game for my 3DS, and I played it.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh. So I picked up Happy Home Designer.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I almost picked up the cards for it. But I was like,
I couldn't. A friend of mine bought 20 packs of them. He went around to every store and bought all their cards.
That's disgusting.
I know.
Why would you do that?
He's a dickbag. Anyway.
I honestly, surprisingly, have no interest in the cards.
I want them, because...
I'd rather have the figures, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
I want both. Anyway.
You know, if you scan the villager into the Happy Home Designer, you get like a gold statue or something in the game.
Ooh, I need to check that out then. Mm-hmm. So, here's the way I feel about this game. It's very not Animal Crossing, but at the same time it is. Let me explain. So, like, what I mean by not Animal Crossing is, I'm sure whenever you were, like, making your houses in Animal Crossing, sometimes you get, like, frustrated and be like, why can't I get this to go where I want it to? Why can't you just fucking... No, not on the ground. Not to the left of that. Up there on the shelf. On the damn shelf.
Yeah, I heard they completely made that revamped and actually is the way it should have been.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like, the design aspect of it is perfect. Like, if this shit crosses over to the next Animal Crossing, I will be so happy because it is so well done.
I don't think it will be in the Amiibo Festival.
I don't either. Well, no, I mean, like, the next actual...
I know, I'm just teasing.
I know.
Amiibo Festival is the next Animal Crossing game.
But anyway. The next payoff... The next debt simulator. Alright? There we go.
I mean, the Amiibo Festival 1, aren't you going around trying to, like, get money for things?
You might be. I don't know. I haven't looked that far.
I know what you mean. Like, I don't know, like, the next non-board game real Animal Crossing.
Yeah, definitely.
But I actually do really want the Amiibo Festival, even though I'll probably play it, like, once.
I do, too. But, yeah, I'm really digging Happy Home Designer, but it's one of those things where it's like I pick it up, I go to the thing, and I'm like, all right, who needs a house design today? What do they want? And they kind of, like, give you vague things like, I like the color blue. And it's like, all right, fine. Fucking, I'm gonna put a porta potty that's blue in the center of your house. And they're like, I love it. I'm just like, all right, cool. All right, there we go. And, like, I just try to make the most stupid designs ever. Like, it also kind of opens it up, because you know how, like, there's only so many buildings in Animal Crossing in general. Like, you got your post office, you got the police station. Like, I designed a school, and that was really fucking cool. Like, I like when it kind of opens up and lets you do that sort of thing. Like, if it continues with that sort of thing, where it's like, hey, design fucking KK Sliders, like, nightclub or something, I'd fucking be all over that, because the designing is actually a lot of fun, and it gives you a lot of room for creativity. I feel like I'm not unlocking anything. I feel like there's nothing there, and you're playing the game just to play the game, especially since there's no day-night cycles. You, like, save by going to your journal and writing in it, and then it's the next day. So you don't even have to wait for a day-night or anything like that. You could continuously play this until you're done.
That's kind of nice.
So,
yeah, actually is really nice.
Yeah, I like that aspect of it. And I also really, really like the designing. But at the same time, I feel like I'm not working towards any real goal. Like, I don't... You know, when you're playing Animal Crossing, you're like, I'm working towards paying that off. I'm working towards getting this. But, like, here I just feel like, alright, I'm just designing houses and stuff. And, like, I guess that could be your goal, because you, like, eventually start designing, like, the outside and the town and, like, building it up. And that's cool. I like the idea of that, but I don't feel like I'm getting anything.
It's not driving you towards it.
Yeah, it's not driving me towards that end game, because I feel like there is no end game. I'm sure there is, because, yeah. But, like, I guess designing all the homes would probably be the end game. But I want to get to, like, the outside. I want to be, like, taking trees and putting plants here and that sort of thing. And I know it comes up, but I haven't got there yet. Again, I haven't played much of this because I really didn't have the drive to after a little bit. I was like, I'm not working towards anything. What's the point? So I kind of stopped for a little bit. But what I did play of it, and I do want to go back, because it did have really good design, and it did feel like good to play. It wasn't a chore, and it wasn't boring. I just felt like there was nothing to keep you going, basically.
Well, you know what will keep you going?
What's that?
Buy all of the cards. All of them. You need them all. And then you'll never want to stop playing.
I heard you don't even need the cards for anything.
No, did you buy it digitally?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say, because the physical one comes with like 3 cards.
Yeah, I didn't buy it with physical. I went looking for it physical, but, like, I went to my Walmart, because there's a Walmart, like, right down the street from my work, and I got paid the day it came out, and I was like, hey, I see you have the sign recently put up for Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, but you haven't put out the game yet, so, could you give me a copy from the back? I don't think that's out yet. No, it came out last night at midnight. Oh, well, my person that puts out those isn't here right now. I was like, then who put out the sign for it? And they're like, yeah, well, we don't have it right now. I was like,
Walmart, they don't check anymore.
Yeah,
they've kind of caught on to it, because I think a lot of Walmarts were handing shit out way too early, so they got fined a lot of money for breaking street dates.
That's cool and all, but they weren't breaking street date. It was the
I know,
but
it's like,
out already.
Listen, if you go to Walmart and you expect to deal with somebody who, no offense if you work at Walmart, but like every time I've gone to Walmart, the person who I'm talking to in the game section or something like that, nobody like seems to know what the hell I'm talking about.
I know what you mean.
Every once in a while, though, you get like,
you'll get someone.
Ones. Like
I did get one guy, and like it
might just be my
guy
Walmart.
that came out. The guy that came out that
shitty.
told me, "Listen, we don't have it right now," and I can't get it from the back. Was they were like, "Listen, the guy has the key," and the other person wasn't explaining it very well, but. This is the deal here, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense."
It might just be my Walmart, because my Walmart's really sketchy.
I'll just buy it digital, whatever. I don't give a shit.
I remember I went to when the new 3DS XL came out. I went to Walmart at like midnight, and like the guy there was like, "Oh yeah, you're here for this," and I'm like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Oh, you know, you need the extra power cord too." I'm like, "Oh yeah, nope, I got that taken care of." He's like, "You're good," and then like he remembered me from GameStop. Like, he actually shopped at me when I worked there. And I was like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. So, like, there's knowledgeable ones. And actually, when I bought Diablo there, too, the girl was really helpful. But I think it is a location thing, too. Like, you know, just like anything else. It depends on where it is.
Yeah.
And then, you know, depending on who the manager is, that's going to decide on what the type of people are hired. So, but it is nice when you get... I do remember when I bought my GameCube at Walmart, and... Like, this was launch night, like 10 years ago or whatever, when the GameCube came out. And lady's like, just point to it in the cabinet and I'll get it out for you. I'm like, it's not in the cabinet. Where are they?
It's funny. My Walmart actually still has, like, Halo Reach Collector's Editions for sale. And they're, like, $70 still. Like, they never price adjusted.
Well, it's really funny when I see, like, Metroid Other M in some stores. Because it'll be, like, $50 or $60 still. It'll be like, no. Like, I'm like, I like this game, but you can buy it, like, new from GameStop for, like, $5. Like,
yeah, it's at Five Below, actually, if that's a store around you.
Yeah. So, sorry to derail your Walmart story.
No, that's all good. I was just basically getting to so I had to get it digital. That's the reason why I bought it digital. But yeah, I think the game's actually really well done, and it does hold up as its own little standalone thing. I felt like it wouldn't, but it does. Like, the design is very engaging in the way you have to, like, you know, think about things, and you have a lot of creative freedom. So that's really cool, and I like that aspect of it, and I don't feel like this is... Basically, when I first saw this introduced, I was like, this is just going to be some rip-off bullshit that they're going to pump out for cash while we wait for the next Animal Crossing. I actually feel like this is a good game. I just don't have the drive to play it right now.
I was going to pick it up, actually.
It's worth it, I would say.
I went to GameStop the day the Amiibo Triple Pack came out because I had it reserved.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that came out. Should I get it? And then I looked over, and I saw that the 20th anniversary PlayStation controllers had also been released. And I was like, shit, I have a decision to make.
Yep.
And I chose the PlayStation controller because that thing looks nice, and playing Oddworld with it is kind of fun. It's like, hey, I'm using a retro controller, but I'm on a PS4, and
all right,
it's a nice controller.
Go on.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm thinking about Animal Crossing. It's on my maybe list. I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking at October, and there's nothing I'm really really excited for.
Oh,
there's only one game I'm really excited for.
Rock Band.
I've already spent $350 for October.
See, so this is my thing. So Rock Band, I'm not buying, at least right now. And the one thing that actually disappoints me is the more I look at the announced songs, the less I'm like, oh, I really actually don't know a lot of these songs. So that
you do.
help.
I that's what I'm going to tell you right now. I felt the same way, but a lot of those songs are songs that you've obviously heard, but you had no idea that was the title of the song.
Okay,
yep.
I mean, I'll give it that because I know that does happen to me quite a bit.
Yeah,
I
listened to the entire set list because I was like, I really don't know any of these, and I was like, oh, I know that, and
I
that,
know most of these songs,
and that, and that.
Okay, I guarantee you, Mike, if you play "Friday I'm in Love" by The Cure, you will know exactly
that song's so good.
What song that is.
And that and the Mighty Boss Tones song.
The Mighty Boss Tones song I actually knew by
it. Mighty Boss Tones. The song "What's Up" by Four Non Blondes. You might recognize it as He-Man singing "Hey Ya, What's Going On."
Yep, there you go. Yep, that's the "Hey Ya, What's Going On." Yep.
I'm kind of mad that they got Hailstorm in the game. I don't like Hailstorm.
It's whatever.
They got somebody told me by the Killers. That's if you lived in 2005, you know what that's.
Yeah, if you lived there.
Yeah, no, I knew that one too. Well, like I said, there's a handful of songs that I knew, but I feel like a vast majority of them I don't.
I actually was introduced to some new songs because of that list, and some of them are really fucking good.
Which is
good.
Good.
I Am Electric is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I
think the weirdest one on there.
Fever's actually really good too. Black Keys, I'd never listened to them, but Fever is actually really good. Yeah,
their last few albums. I mean, they're in general a good band, but Fever and El Camino were both very great albums. If you want to listen to good music, but the weirdest song on there, besides, I think there's the Megas song, which is a Mega Man cover band.
The Proto Men.
Are the Proto Men?
The Proto Men are on there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, other than that, they have Uptown Funk.
Dude, no. Think about that song. And the drums to it and everything, and it's perfect. And actually, I fucking love that song. No joke, I fucking love that song.
And then I saw that the song "Centuries" by Fall Out Boy is on there, and I've spoke to my friends.
I listened to it, and I was like, I hadn't heard this one.
I don't know how I feel.
It's not bad. It's not.
I don't know how
good,
I feel about Fall Out Boy,
but it's not bad
because the lead singer can sing his fucking heart out. He's great. Their bass player's a huge douchebag.
Yep,
and I don't actively admit to being a fan of them, but for those of you who have seen Big Hero 6, at the end when their song plays during the credits, I'm just like, fuck yeah. This is a good fucking
so here's the weirdest choice that I think I've seen for Rock Band so far. And it comes in the pre-order DLC for the digital version of all things, but you can also buy it day one as day one DLC. Give Me Chocolate by Baby Metal.
Oh yeah, no, I heard about that.
I was like,
that actually probably is Yeah, no.
But I'm actually really excited to play drums for that because the drums are fucking badass. There's a lot of good songs. Fucking most of the songs that I listened to in this list, I didn't know they were called that. Like I said, but yeah, they're good.
I'm happy that they have the new Judas Priest song on there. So
I'm happy that they have a song by System of a Down that's not from Chop Suey. That's what makes me happy.
Wow.
Yeah, Spiders.
That's
from the original album. Like, when I saw that, I was like, what?
Yeah, that's actually really surprising.
And Prayer by Disturbed, which is actually another album that no one really ventures to. Yeah,
I'm pretty hyped for Rock Band. I'm so excited. I'm probably gonna ask for my birthday because I'm like,
I've already bought the band box last week. I'm good.
No, I don't need the band box. I don't even need the guitar. I want it.
I need it.
But
in my life,
unfortunately, and I know Mike's gonna say I told you so, but I don't think buying Metal Gear Solid 5 Day 1 was the best choice for me. Because it was like, all right, I bought MGS5, then The Taken King came out, now Tomorrow Fall Anthology comes out, and then Rock Band 4 comes out, and then November.
So what you're really saying is you're never going to finish any of those games.
I'm going to finish MGS5, but it's going to be quite delayed.
Just like you're going to finish Bloodborne, and you're going to finish Metroid Prime.
You better finish Bloodborne soon, because guess what comes out in November? Bloodborne DLC. Yeah, there you go.
And you're going to finish Shadows of the Damned. And you're going to finish...
Wait, hold on. You can't yell at me for not finishing. I have to start it first.
That's true.
Joke's on you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I also pre-ordered Guitar Hero because I like some of the things they're doing. I hadn't looked too much into it, but then when I found out they're doing, like, live concert game-like things, that's really fucking cool. So, I'm totally on board.
Its charm.
Huh?
I think that game lost its charm.
I think that game is trying something different, and I'll give it the chance.
It's dangerous. It's a very dangerous bet.
Having 7 buttons is really dangerous.
It's like I kind of appreciate Guitar Hero for the styles that they had before, like the kind of cartoony and kind of goofy stylings, and this is just like in comparison to Rock Band, it's like a too serious look to it.
Well, yes, but I will also say, like, the thing that made me most interested in it is Guitar Hero TV. That shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, that sounds cool, but, like, I don't know.
Like, the idea of being able to play a concert while it's, like, going on in the background. And it's, like, the real recorded concert of, like, Avenged Sevenfold or something. And you're playing.
But my only thing with that, my caveat to that, is, like, how long are they going to support that?
It's supposed to be their main thing. Like, that's their form of DLC. That's their main thing that they're doing for it. And I like that idea. I think it's really cool. So,
yeah,
I'm totally up for that.
At this point,
and it seems like they're throwing a lot into it because, like, they're doing, like, not only the full concert in the background and you're playing each song that they play, but on top of that, they're doing, like, special themed note charts and, like, notes and all that stuff as well, based on whatever band it is that you're doing their concert.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually really neat. And, I mean, just the button layout and the way it's so different from past games has me kind of excited, because it's going to be weird to wrap my head around that one. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do when I first pick up the new Guitar Hero. Like, at all. I'm probably going to be fucking terrible at it, because it's so different, you know? Like, 6 buttons, 3 and 3, 3 on top of one another, and then, like, play none of the buttons and just strum for the 7th button. That's going to be really weird. But, like, it's something different, and it's a new way of playing, and I totally welcome that. Anything that's bringing change. And I hope it works. So, yeah. There you go. I like music games. I'm literally a sucker for music games. If you put out something that has music in it, and I like the music or the idea of it, I will buy it. That's just the fucking matter. Like, that's it. Like, if I had the money and the space, I would buy a DDR machine. Like, a real DDR machine.
Oh, of course.
But
Fantastic.
yeah, it's one of my favorite games. But yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited for this. But going back to what I was talking about, I did play 2 other games that I'm gonna glance over really quickly because they were just like I only played a little bit of them, and they're kind of like jump in, jump out games anyway. So the first one I played was Shoot 1 Up, which is it's new to PC bullet hell shooter. However, it was released on the Xbox 360 in the indie arcade when the Xbox 360 originally released. And what this is this is a first-person shooter. This is a bullet hell shooter. Sorry, I was looking at something and it was a first-person shooter. But anyway, this is a bullet hell shooter where every time you get an extra man, instead of having that added to your pile of extra men, it puts another ship on the screen. And you'll eventually be controlling 30 ships at once. Or if you're playing multiplayer, you can control up to 60 ships at once.
Dear God.
And it is fucking insane. And you use the triggers to construct them and bring them together. And if you bring them together, you're gonna have one concentrated rate of fire. But you can also split them apart and have shooting all different parts of the screen at once. But there's all those bullets coming at you, so you're obviously gonna lose some. So you're having to go back and forth with that. And the stages will change. It'll go from a horizontal to a vertical to a kind of asteroids type shooter. It just changes throughout the entire game, and you make choices on the fly as you're playing. It's really fucking cool, and it's only $1.99, and it's totally worth playing. It's so good. So there's that. And then I got Guild of Dungeoneering, which is a roguelike card game dungeon crawling RPG.
Well, that's a lot of things you're throwing at me at once.
I know. It's a lot of things to take in at once. So it's a card game, but it's also a dungeon crawler, and it's an RPG. So there you go. That's the easiest way to put it. All your characters and shit are cards, and all of their attacks are cards, and you get them from defeating enemies, which are also cards. And probably the coolest thing about this is, first of all, I love roguelikes, so that's good. I like that a lot. Or roguelite, I guess would be the term for this one. But the best part about this is you have a guy that's playing a lute in the background, and every time you do something, whenever you beat a floor, he'll sing you a song based on what you did. And the songs are fucking hilarious. They're really good. So, yeah, it just oozes style. It looks like a board game, and you create the floors as you go along. It's so cool, and I'm loving it. I'm digging this game. I just got the DLC for it because it was also on sale, and it makes it all pirate themed. So I'm gonna check that out later. But yeah. So those 2 games are fun. Soma's really good so far. And, other games I'm always playing. CSGO. That game's good. So that's a good game. Destiny, like we said, Nick. Good. And then, Mike, what about you?
So like I said, I really have been playing a bunch of a mod this week. It's kind of new to me, but I thought it was really interesting. Basically, the story ends with, last week I went back to StarCraft II, and I played through Heart of the Swarm, and, I'm getting really excited for Legacy of the Void coming out. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it'd be kind of fun to go back and play, classic StarCraft. It's been a while since I played that. And so I looked into it, because I have a copy of the game, and then I find out that, that ship has sailed. The computers these days don't have a lot of the stuff needed to run it anymore. Mm-hmm. So I'm
get it digital, because if you get it digital, you can get it, you make it work. They have something that makes it, I don't know.
It's for Mac.
For Mac, yeah.
Since a certain point, it's just not able to be played. And with PC, I think it's anything past Windows 7. And yes, there are ways to make it work. You can get a booter and stick it in there, I guess. But that was too much of a pain.
Gotcha.
So, but I ended up finding out in my searches, how to do it, that someone actually made a mod in StarCraft II that's the entirety of the StarCraft I campaign.
Whoa.
Yeah, and, when I say the entirety, This is some pretty badass modding that they did. Like, they found a way to incorporate the cinematics, the voice acting, like...
That's friggin' awesome, actually.
Yeah. And so they went through and, like, some of the, like, that... When I, like, hidden missions... And when I say hidden missions, like, that they included, I don't mean, like, you know, like, the special, like, unlock things that you would normally go through in the game. I mean, like, literally, there were missions in StarCraft 1 that were on the disc that you just couldn't access. They made those available in this mod, too. So it literally is, like, an all-encompassing mod. It's StarCraft, like, and Brood War all together, along with, like, some prologue missions that I guess were released at one point. And even you can get... There's this mission called Resurrection 4, which I guess was, like, on the N64 game only. And, like, that's all... They made those all into the game. Mm-hmm. So... That's it. Pretty in-depth stuff, like I said. And, you know, you have, like, the Raynor voice actors. Yeah, there's some weird things, like, they couldn't get the, like, models from some of the, like, chatty heads, you know, like, where they're, like, in, you know, like, talking. And, like, General Duke is just some, like, general regular guy now. Like, because he didn't have, like, a StarCraft II equivalent. But, like, you know, obviously, for ones that are there, like Raynor and Kerrigan and all that, they have, like, their talking heads, like, in the briefings. They did, like, caveat, they did have to, like, rebalance the difficulty a little bit. The idea is that because the UI and stuff is better in StarCraft II, the campaign becomes a little bit easier, which I can totally understand to some degree. But it's not like the campaign was that easy for a lot of people to begin with. I imagine if you're like a pro StarCraft player, you probably like blitz through the campaign like crazy. But for someone like me who just kind of plays it casually, like I need to turn the difficulty down to easy, which is basically what, at least the way it looks to me, easy seems to retain like the actual like attributes and stuff, like hit points and stuff from like the first game. Like, in like, normal, which I had played a couple missions on, like, Zerglings will come out, like, 4 of them, and they'll just tear through a bunker and then kill everyone inside. Like, 4 Zerglings will rip through a bunker and kill all 4 Marines in there without, like, even one dying. And I'm like, okay, this is too much. Like, I'm clearly missing something. So, I turned it down to easy. Maybe it's not for everyone. Like, the easy difficulty, like, I'm sure there's some people that like it harder and are really good at StarCraft, which I'm not, and they probably will enjoy that stuff, but honestly, easy's right where it wants to be. It's like the great story experience. The maps and story stuff is almost identical to what I remember. I've only almost gotten through the entirety of the Terran campaign, but it's great to go back and see all the stuff that they incorporated into it. I mean, they even have options in there to have, like, the Brood War units appear in the original game, which you can turn on or off. Like, that's in there. Like I said, the cinematics are in there. They have all, like, the hidden chapters that, like, were never, like, just out there. But they had, like, I guess completed. They were on the disc, and they just had to just basically flip the switch, turn them on, which they never did. So, there's all that. It's really fun. It's just, it opens right up in StarCraft 2. It's all made, apparently, with just, like, the StarCraft 2, like, level editor. No fucking clue how they did it. It's so impressive. But, like, they did a really good job with that. Like, I would say if you have StarCraft 2, I think you have to have Heart of the Swarm to play it. Damn. But it is... I mean, Heart of the Swarm's only $20 now. Okay. And if you bought it last week when we were talking about it, it was $10. I don't know if Nick ended up picking it up.
I did not.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Well, I still own the game, so I should probably just, you know, give them my background check so they can give me back my CD key. But
yeah, you might as well, I guess. And yeah, so that's what I've been playing. It's Mass Recall. It's been a lot of fun. So yeah, definitely would check you out if you're looking for like a way to play StarCraft 1 and you know don't really want to go back to the older stuff. Like I said, it plays definitely fine. I would play it in easy for most people because, like I said, that retains, at least to me, it retains a lot more of like the balance without taking into account the UI stuff. But the UI in StarCraft 2 is a lot nicer. But you do have to be fast. I'm not like super fast at StarCraft.
Okay.
So, and then
gotta get those micros down, bro. Gotta get those micros.
I know. And also, too, just strange caveat. I'll just throw this out there, too. So, I finally got my beta code for Legacy of the Void. Mm-hmm. I put it in, and I was like, yeah, because I really wanted to play, like, the campaign missions. but apparently the campaign missions are only unlockable if you buy like the digital copy directly from Blizzard. And I'm like, that's really lame. Really lame. And on top of that, too, like, they even had, like, a forum post going back to, I think it was early July. And they were like, yeah, you guys want to play the campaign? We know, we're making it work. We'll let you know soon. That was 2 months ago. Clearly nothing has changed on that front. But, yeah, so there's that. I did look at the beta, but it was multiplayer only, and I was like, oh, I don't really feel like playing. And then there's no AI, so it's just, like, 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 battles. And I'm like, I don't feel like getting slaughtered, so I'm not gonna partake in this right now. Also, though, I don't know if you guys saw this because I had missed this news. So I had not been following it very closely, but Legacy of the Void actually has some other cool stuff in there too. It's got like an Archon mode. Did you guys see about this?
No.
No. Apparently, it lets you play like it's a 2v2 battle, but you share the same like base. Like you're essentially like one player playing as two people. I don't know if that makes any sense.
That's interesting.
So you're both playing as, like, say, Terran, and you have one command center and a bunch of SCVs, just like you normally... Like, that's it. It's basically two players playing for the same team.
Okay. That makes sense.
Different.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's weird, though.
It sounds interesting. Like, I guess some of the background on that is... Like, it's supposed to get people more acclimated to playing, like, 1v1, because then you can kind of get used to, like, everything that goes into it. You can have someone, like, oversee you without having to do, like, some weird mode to do it. But also you can, like, work together and kind of get what's going on there. So that's kind of neat. The other thing I guess they're adding, too, is they're adding two-player campaign mode as well, which I thought was really neat.
Okay.
So
Very
you can,
cool.
yeah, and you can take on like heroes, and I don't know. I'm sure there'll be some story to play through in the campaign, but I thought that was really neat too because it was something that I guess they've done something like that in like StarCraft 64. I think to some degree.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like the same like degree that what they're doing here, but this I thought was fun. I mean, the campaign, like we talked about it before, like the campaign stuff's like our favorite stuff, at least for me. I think Nick, you said you agreed with that too.
I agree.
Yeah, and so like you get to do campaign missions with two people, but you don't have like it's basically co-op. It's fun. Like you get to all the crazy stuff without having to do the multiplayer stuff. So I thought that was really neat. I'm actually that made me even more excited for it now, even though I don't know who I'm going to play it with. So yeah, there's that. Oh, also other game note. I finally finished fucking Grabbed by the Ghoulies, that piece of shit game. I was actually pretty close to the end. I didn't realize it. Like, I actually stopped on, like, the final boss. That was just a stupid fight. And then, to make it even better, like, once you're done with that, they do this thing where, like, oh, yeah, you gotta go save those kids. Like, the ones that have been trapped in the mansion. And,
who cares?
You got 10 minutes to do it, and we're gonna fill it up with all the bullshit in 10 minutes. So have fun. And I'm like, yay. I'm like, whatever. I'm at the end of the game. I don't give a shit. Just fucking end. And then it's over. I'm done with it now. So
there you go.
How many janks out of 10 do you give it?
I don't know. I would give it 2 Donkey Kong 64s out of 10.
Ooh, wait. So you think it's worse?
I think it's worse than Donkey Kong 64.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I know. I died.
I never want to play that game.
I died because it tells you all the stats at the end. I died 110 times in that game. 110 times. Granted, the game is very forgiving. The other thing that actually really surprised me too. Like, as much as I've talked about this game, do you know how much time I've actually spent playing it? About 6.5 hours.
There you go. It's a good time.
Well, it's, like, if the game is that frustrating and it takes me this long to beat it, like, it literally is the worst game ever. Like, you think 6.5 hours, that's like one sitting game. Like, I could sit down and play that just all at once. But no, it's too frustrating. You can't do it like that. I mean, maybe someone can, but I don't know. I don't recommend it. There are definitely better games on the Rare Replay disc and original Xbox, if you're so inclined. But, yeah, that's it. Play StarCraft, Mass Recall, skip Grabbed by the Ghoulies. And also play Blast Corps if you're playing Rare Replay.
That game's awesome.
Mm-hmm. It is. So anyways, that's all I got. You guys ready to move on to news?
Yes, I just found some more news while we were talking, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a news theme?
I'm gonna give you the news. Is the news.
Brandon, shift. God damn it.
Done.
All right, there we go.
All right, so
I'm gonna see how long I can hold that note every single week. See how long.
are you trying to buy your brown note?
What? Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. That's the one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Mighty Number 9, coming February 9th, baby?
I'll believe it when I see it.
Maybe. We don't even know when the demo's coming yet, so.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's half a year away almost at this point, so I hope that they can get it out by then.
I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but after dealing with this Kickstarter for the last, I guess, 2 years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I am never going to, unless it's something that, like, I really think my money's going to go towards it. Like, I don't want to support anything on Kickstarter anymore. This has left a bad taste in my mouth. Like, just how many times it's been delayed, how many times shit's been messed up. I don't even want to deal with it anymore.
I mean, to be honest, let's say the game had actually come out already. You still wouldn't have beaten it yet. And it actually probably wouldn't even beaten by February 9th.
Yeah, that's fine. That's completely true.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I'm waiting a long time for something that I don't even think is going to be too groundbreaking. It's just going to be an okay game. I don't think it's going to be anything major. And it's mostly not even the delays that have left a sour taste in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that you get a publisher after getting all that money.
I know.
That's just me.
Oh, and they're delaying to make sure everything's out at the same time, too. Like, I mean, who knows what all that has to do with, but, yeah, no, I can understand that. I know that has not made a lot of people happy with a bunch of different things, too. Mm-hmm. But things that do make people happy, U2's coming to Rock Band.
Doesn't make me happy because I'm not a U2 fan.
Yeah. I don't like U2 at all.
Well, that sunk the ship. So, speaking of sinking ships, the successor to Vita is unlikely, says Sony.
Great segue for that.
I know.
Because the Vita,
two good segues in a row.
Vita, unless you are a huge fan of JRPGs, and is not doing much. Mine, I think, I know I told my friends, I'm not sure if I said it on here, mine has effectively become an ionic breeze, and it's just currently removing all the dust from the air in my room. I'm not really a big fan of JRPGs. I'm not really
I am, so, like, it's like the console for me. In all honesty.
like, if you love, like the Danganronpas and the Personas and all that shit,
all of them.
of course, Vita's for you.
Actually, Danganronpa is not an RPG.
It's actually a visual novel / blah, 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 blah.
Fuck that. I ain't playing no goddamn visual novel.
Yeah, but it's like, I was gonna say, well, let me finish, Nick. It's like visual novel in terms of, like, a visual novel, like, Ace Attorney style. I
never play Ace Attorney.
So that's your second problem.
I have no plans on playing it.
But anyways, yeah, so Sony's blaming the market on this one. They're like, yeah, everyone's moving to mobile.
Yeah, fuck you, Sony. It's because you didn't put out any games. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like, I'm sure that the mobile market didn't help, but, like, Sony didn't really put forth their A+ effort on this one either.
I don't even think they gave us a solid B- for this.
Here's the thing. There's obviously more phones out there than any console. I don't care if it's PlayStation, like an actual home PlayStation console, Xbox console, whatever. Everybody has a phone. Not everybody has a DS. Not everybody has a PS Vita. But when you have a console, you need, besides strong third-party support, is strong first-party support. And I just don't really see that with the Vita. I mean, most of the Vita games that they put out have come over to PS4, and they don't really have anything like. The past two E3s, they've said little to nothing about the system, and it's a shame too because it's a really when it comes down to it, it's a really great system, power wise and feature wise. Being able to stream PS4 games to your Vita and like play it anywhere, and stuff like that. But I'm
glad I didn't buy it. I'm glad I just bought a TV instead.
I'm happy I have it because it's like I can play the PS1 games on the go. I play cool shit like that. But I mean, you could have done that with the PSP. Mm-hmm. And the Vita in and of itself was a huge step forward for their portable consoles, but at the same time was a big step back because the PSP Go had, 20 or 40 gigs of online or on-board storage, whereas the Vita, it's like 8 gigs and it costs $80 for a fucking 8 gig proprietary stick.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck out of my face with that shit,
Yeah,
Sony.
the memory sticks were definitely an issue. Yeah, the lack of first-party support. I mean, granted, they did have some good things. Like, Tearaway was good. Killzone was good. I mean, Uncharted was decent.
Fantastic. I thought Killzone was fantastic. The shittiest title I played on the Vita, hands down, was Resistance. But
Resistance. That game was good.
Wipeout was great. Little Big Planet was still Little Big Planet. Killzone was by far the best. Touch My Katamari was still Katamari, so I was okay with that. Uncharted was mediocre, but still okay. But you could have done a lot more with the system. I'm sorry, they gave up on it way too soon.
Yeah, and I said it before, and I'll say it again too. Like, honestly, like they signed the death warrant for the Vita when they made it so that it was able to play like the PS4 games via stream. Because they knew, like, why would you want to make more games for it? Like, literally, you could have your entire PS4 library beamed to the system. Like, it's just kind of like, why make a game for it when you can just make a PS4 game instead? So, dead. That's what it was.
I don't think they understand, because, like, it seems like Nintendo has a great balance of, all right, we should put this on 3DS and this on Wii U. I mean, when it comes to most games, I mean, there's some games where they kind of messed it up, like the Kirby games that came out recently.
Yeah, and two, it is a precarious balance for them as well, because for them, they don't have the third party support, so making a decision to put one or the other does kind of end up biting the other system. I feel like a little bit. So,
but I don't think the Vita has that killer game like the 3DS has. Like, Nintendo portable consoles have always had that one game, and it's always been Pokemon. Like, if there's anything that moves that console, it's Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and for the PSP, it was Monster Hunter, but when they lost that to the 3DS,
now they got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
If they had made, what they should have done was, instead of saying, all right, well, let's take this franchise that already exists and move it to the Vita, why not we take these studios and have them make brand new titles that are Vita specific, that aren't changing already established games, like Uncharted and Killzone, to use touchpad controls, to use touch screen controls. They could have easily made new, games that harness the Vita in a proper way, not a gimmicky way.
Well, that's how we got Tearaway, and it was a great idea.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Media Molecule did that. We got Tearaway.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget who made Resistance, but we got Resistance, and
Resistance
it was like, the fuck is this?
Not made by...
I know it wasn't made by
Insomniac.
Made by some bullshit studio.
It's the same one that also made the really crappy Call of Duty game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're more so trying to get the name and the IP.
Is it the same one that also did Borderlands 2? Because Borderlands 2 is supposedly really bad.
Well, why would you play Borderlands 2 on the Vita? You're limited to 2 characters, first off, that kills a major part of the Borderlands experience, at least for me.
I'm pretty sure they had online play, and you could have 4 players, but
no, it was limited to 2 players.
Well, either way, I heard the game was garbage.
But I don't know. I think they could have done a lot better with the system, and I think they can still resurrect what they have with it, and like kind of push it a bit more, but they just aren't willing.
Yeah, and I don't see that. I mean, they said like a successor is unlikely, and I just don't see them even having the ambition to do it. Like they got their hands full with the PS4 and Morpheus, and whatever else is going on there. I think at least in terms of what they're doing, like Morpheus seems like a better investment for them. But I do love myself a dedicated handheld. But if they are going to make it right, like and make it work, then don't bother. So, all right.
That's just my thoughts as a pissed off Vita owner.
Yeah, no, I agree too. And so that is the Vita swan song. I'm sure we'll talk about it again. Like it'll keep on dying for a while. Speaking of people that have to die over and over again, voice actors.
It's actually, you're not wrong.
Voice actors, and so a big thing this it might have been up for topic last week, but I just remembered it this week at least. The voice actors are considering a strike. So
yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, apparently, a lot of it has to do with, I guess, the current contract they have. Like, was negotiated in like 1990, like 3 or 6 or something. It's been around for much, much, much longer than it should have been. So, I mean, that alone should say something. But I guess they have some pretty like reasonable demands. I guess some of them are, they want residuals, which I could understand why an actor would want this because you get it in a movie. But actually, the studios and stuff, they actually have a really good point. They're like, okay, so the actors are in a recording studio for what, in like an hour or two? So people work on this game for like years, and they don't get like residual money from it. Like, it kind of seems silly. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like,
it makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
like the developers kind of find it offensive, because they're the ones who actually like pour like their heart and soul into the game, or like that is the bigger sell than who's actually doing the recording. So that one I can kind of understand, like on the publisher side of things, but they also want like vocal stress considerations. Totally understandable. Stunt coordinators, apparently it's kind of easy to get injured when they're doing like some of the mocap stuff. Like they won't have like stuff in there. They want transparency. Like a lot of times voice actors don't know what game they're signing up for until they show up for the audition. Which, yeah, so like if you're gonna go like, if you're trying to keep your vocal cords intact, like you don't want to sign up for a horror game. Like you're gonna be screaming all the time, So.
well, yeah, I know that was like one of the big things they were saying. Like, you listen to like a voice actor or like a voice recording in the game, and it's like they actually have to scream sometimes and like over and over again. It's never like they just do one take and that's over.
Yeah,
so, that makes sense.
Let's see. Then the publishers, I guess they want fines for like voice actors being inattentive or late, which I guess it was kind of like very looseness. Like it wasn't very specific. So like I can understand why the voice actors weren't thrilled about that. Fines for agents who do not send clients on all requested auditions. Hiring non-union voice performers, that actually makes a lot of sense too if you want to like retain your like valuableness. Because I can't talk. So I don't know. I mean, I can see it going both ways, like with the stuff that's on there.
I could say they definitely deserve, more money because let's face it, voice acting in '96 and voice acting in 2015, worlds different.
Oh yeah.
Now a voice actor can make or break a game, especially as we saw with Destiny when that game first came out and everybody was like, what the fuck?
Well, wait. To bring it back to the first point, though, like, I don't think that's make or break, though. Like, voice acting can suck, but it doesn't necessarily make or break a game. Which is why...
It depends on the game, honestly, especially, if it's a more story-driven game. Like, okay, imagine playing The Last of Us and fucking... What's his name? I forget the name. Yeah, but I forget his actual voice actor.
Troy Baker?
Troy Baker. Yeah. Okay. Imagine if Troy Baker was just kind of like a lackluster, he just didn't care, didn't give the amount of feeling that, somebody should be projecting in the certain situations. The game would reflect that, and it would be worse because of it, I believe, personally. So,
I agree, actually, on this front.
I mean, it makes sense in that case. And I think more money's fair, but, like, residual money, I think, seems silly.
Residual money is silly, because, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
You could have a game like The Last of Us where, yes, you do sell literally, thousands upon thousands of copies, millions even. Or you could have a game where, you probably don't even break 1 million. And it's like, well, a game publisher can't, you'd be promised residual, and then if it doesn't sell, you don't get that residual. So, it's probably better off for you to get it up front, where it's like, all right, here's our contract, here's what you're making.
You gotta look at it this way. Voice actors in video games aren't just one role. They are, like, doing 6-7 game roles at a time. Most of the big name ones are. So, like, that's their life. Baker. That's their life. That is literally their life. So, like, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be paid for being stuck in a fucking, studio for that long over a year time, or 2 years, depending on how long it takes for all the recording. Mm-hmm. It makes sense that they're I mean, it's just like the acting strike was before. It's just that, but now with voice acting instead.
I think it's more of now. It just needs more of an update than it is than anything else. Because that's you say it came out in '96. That's way overstated its welcome. So I think it could use a freshening up a bit. But I think some of the demands are a little far fetched, and some of them are right on point. But
yeah, some of them are
it's give and take.
Yeah. That's usually how it works with unions and such. You kind of make a few demands. And you're not going to get all of them, but you might get some of them.
Yeah. And I guess they've tried to, go back and forth on this twice, and just nothing has come out of it yet. So, I'm sure they'll get there at some point, but it's going to take some time. And, I mean, obviously, like you said, some games would be pretty hard by the fact that, maybe they don't have voice acting in it, but then I'm sure there's some that would do fine, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, so there's that. What else? Battlefront Open Beta?
I got some news. First, go quick news. First, Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront will be having an open beta on all platforms on October 8th, and it will run until the 12th. So you get to try out 3 different modes, and one of the modes is the 40-man versus match, so that should be pretty cool. Another one's the co-op mode, and then there's just the normal, this is Battlefield mode. There's those. So, there you go. Another bit of news. Halo 6 is already being created right now. They haven't even released Halo 5, and they're already working immediately, and apparently they're well into making Halo 6. So, take that how you will.
I mean, Halo 5 is supposed to come out in, November?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have, your design team and stuff. They're probably already done with Halo 5 and have been for a while. So, they're probably already working on Halo 6. I mean, obviously, the programmers and stuff are probably, for the most part, just going through and patching up bugs and making patches right now. But, yeah, I mean, the design team, it makes sense for them to move on. Because just with a staff that large, you don't need them all sitting around waiting for Halo 5 to ship. Some of them just are literally already done with their stuff.
I guess my main thought on it is, they don't need to make this, a bi-yearly series. If that's what they're planning on doing, that's a bad idea.
No, they're probably not. We're probably going to have another 2 or 3 years until we hear about actual Halo 6 being announced.
I'm going to give it...
Here, there should be no single screen because they want to have it 900p.
There you go. So other bit of information that came out today, there's no single player in Rainbow Six Siege. No single player at all. Only multiplayer.
That was to be expected, I think.
I don't know. They originally had a good idea when it was called Rainbow Six something else. I don't remember what the fuck the title was.
Wasn't it Patriots before?
Patriots, there you go. Yeah, they had a decent single-player idea for that, but they scrapped it entirely, and then instead of...
I don't think you'll be hurting for Rainbow Six single-player, because not only do we have this Tom Clancy game coming out, but we have... I think the Division might be coming out.
The Division's a third-person cover-based shooter. That's not Rainbow Six.
Well, it's still a Tom Clancy game.
But it's not Rainbow Six. That'd be like saying, they brought up that one game that was also Tom Clancy, End War. Yeah, End War. So you're not hurting.
Cool. And what was that other game they announced that was I don't know if it was Rainbow Six or not, but it was a Tom Clancy game.
Hmm?
That was a complete surprise because they were like, wait a minute, you haven't even released the Division yet. Forget what it was called. I know they talked about it at E3. I don't remember exactly what it was.
I think you're thinking of the Ubisoft game that was open world and you played as criminals.
Well, Tom Clancy is Ubisoft.
No, yeah, but this isn't that's not a Tom Clancy game. I don't think.
I'm pretty sure it was.
No, because most of them are based off of his books. So.
Well, I mean, he doesn't write books anymore.
Yeah, because he's dead.
That's my point.
I mean,
the point I was making. Thank you for being literal.
You're welcome.
Oh, Tom Clancy Ghost Recon Wildlands. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, is that No.
Yeah, it's Ghost Recon Wildlands. I knew they announced some new Tom Clancy game.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I forgot about that one.
So we have 3 Tom Clancy games coming out, none of which will probably ever be released. They'll all be canceled. So
yeah, there you go.
No, Ubisoft usually doesn't cancel Tom Clancy games. They usually come out at some point.
Oh yeah, they did. That was a Tom Clancy game. Jesus Christ, that did not look like a Tom Clancy game. Like that's how far we've gone away from Tom Clancy. That does not look like Tom Clancy. I did want to play that game though. I did want to play that, so that's a thing. But no, got like a bad feeling on Siege, like a really bad feeling. So yeah, see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit worried.
What else you got in your news pocket?
My news pocket.
Mm-hmm.
My news pocket.
News pocket.
Nah, I think that's all I got for. Nope, I think that's all I got for my news pocket.
So, anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap up then?
I'm now replacing Hot Pocket jingle with News Pocket, so I'm like,
News pocket.
News Pocket, it's cold in the middle.
Alright, well, then, thank you everyone for listening to us this week. Don't forget, you can download our episodes on iTunes, on Stitcher, or from the website doublegaming.com. Don't forget to share the podcast with a friend, leave us a review, give us feedback on Twitter or Facebook. Our Twitter account's GMECRUNCH. And Brandon, do you have anything to send out on?
No.
Nick?
Real quick, we didn't touch on this. We have less than 5 days from this recording for the Smash ballot. So remember to go and vote for your favorite character for the Smash ballot, and I swear to Christ...
Shovel Knight?
I swear to Christ, if any of you vote for Ridley, I will personally show up to your house.
I give you a high five.
And shit on your Wii U.
I mean, Ridley's
well,
awesome.
I mean, I wasn't going to vote, but now I got to see this.
Just imagine the amiibo. It'd be like the same size as like the giant Yoshi.
Brandon, if you vote for Ridley, I will personally drive down to Georgia, lay waste to every peach tree, crippling your state financially.
Oh yes, of course.
And shit on your Wii U.
Yep.
I got to see this happen. I'm doing it. I'm going to vote right now.
Local man goes crazy over Ridley ballot, burns down entire peach crop.
No money left in Georgia.
No money left in Georgia. No, nothing of value is lost.
There you go.
And don't forget, guys, next week, community playthrough and our game debate episode, Shadows of the Damned.
Sounds good.
Halloween. Yeah, don't forget this time for realsies. And
411 for realsies. I'll freeze my Reese's Pieces.
What?
411 for realsies. I freeze my Reese's Pieces. Every time I pack the pipe, my appetite instantly increases.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's a song. It's a song.
What?
It's a song.
Well, I know. I understood that words. But what?
I understood the words that were going out of your mouth, but I was like, I have no idea why you even started saying the word.
Because he said, what did he say? I don't know. Maybe I randomly said it.
I said I put my Reese's Pieces in the
Reese's
freezer.
Pieces. See, that's what I said.
No, I did not say Reese's Pieces.
Wait. What did you say?
I wear my sunglasses at night.
So I can see something.
You're gonna have to finish it because I don't. That's the only. It's I wear my sunglasses at night and then mumbling. That's the only thing.
I remember I wear my
So
sunglasses.
I can keep track of visions in the dark. That's
No. Yeah, you can't Google the lyrics for that.
No, I knew that. I know that song. I know that song.
I heard you typing quickly. You did mock.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out which one was the 411 for realsies. I freeze my Reese's Pieces. I know it's an MC Chris song, but I can't remember which one.
What the fuck is MC Chris?
He's MC P Pants from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh, now you got okay. No, now I'm picking up what you're putting down.
There you go.
All right.
Oh, it's from the song Weed, WIID, like we and then a D, like the we.
Can we end this before before we bring up the fucking discography for this fake rapper?
He's so good. I love his music.
And my name is Mike Anastasia. You can find me on the internet. I am Clash of Penguin on Twitter or your favorite gaming consoles. And until next week, game on.
Game on.
I want candy.
like the briefing stuff is all just like it was in StarCraft 1. Like you go into the thing and it's got like the one little computer head. Sorry.
Everything just got really quiet after both me and Nick were like, uh-huh.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I finished that sentence and I went to like a huge choking fit.
Oh.
So I muted and then...
Don't die.
Yeah, DD. Are you guys ready for the community playthrough? Dare I ask?
Yes.
Okay.
When is it?
Today.
It's not bullshit. No, you said October.
This is the first episode of October.
No, it's not. It's the 28th of September.
This episode debuts in Friday.
It does come out on the 2nd.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. In fact, I didn't play it. I was playing it this weekend. So, there we go.
I am also not ready. Whoops. I actually thought we were going to have another week as well.
Yeah, see? So I'm not the only one. You acted like I was a goddamn idiot, Nick, and Nick's like, well, I actually thought the exact same thing.
To be fair, I did tell you guys last week that we had one more week, but
okay.
You did.
But you also said that it was the first week of October, and I didn't think you meant counting the date we released it on. I thought you meant, like, our first week in October that we record.
Stupid. It's
so
okay.
was Nick. We're both stupid, so it's all good.
It's okay. Well, I guess then we'll just revert to a regular episode then. So,
that works.
We'll save the game debate for next week. It makes sense to do those things all together instead of separated.
Like I said, I literally thought it was next week, so...
It's okay. I mean, even though I said it was going to be this week, I knew you guys weren't going to be ready for it this week.
There you go.
I mean, I did buy the game on what, like...
Yeah, like Wednesday.